do. Good night, everybody. How are you doing tonight? I feel like when I take a break of doing live sessions, I feel when I come back, it's like, I miss you guys. I miss doing the live streams. I mean, even if it's like a week that we take off, I miss doing them. We have a lot of fun whenever we turn this camera on and we go live to you. Tonight, we have a fun episode. You know what they say? If it was, I forget what they say, but we did it once and it was nice, so we had to do it twice. And this is another edition of what we would do with your business. So I had to go and, bring back a face that you've been seeing for a little bit on these live segments. So let's bring him in one time. Mr. Ocey Phillips. What is going on?
What's good?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. How have things been on your end?
Quiet. Recently just picked up as I dropped the ebook yesterday. So that is kind of picked up with a lot of people messaging and asking questions about plenty things.
You're a big time author now. You're writing books.
No. Just a little ebook to help the people in the region, man. How to do e-commerce properly.
That's what we like. So, before we get started on tonight's topic, let's see who we got in. So make sure if you guys are tuning into the live show, let us know in the comments. Let us know where you guys are watching from. Are you from Trinidad and Tobago? Are you from Guyana, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Croix, St. Martin? Are you from Jamaica, the US, Canada? Let me know in the comments where you guys are going to be tuning in from. So first, we have Druth Kyle. He's tuning in from Trinidad. We got LinkedIn user says, good night, excited for the fire. And we got Mr. Keron Rose saying, yo. Nice, man. As you guys come in, again, just check in. Let us know. Drop a comment. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. So tonight's segment is what we would do if we ran your business. Ocey, who are we going to be touching on tonight?
We're touching on Angostura, Trinidad. Yeah. We're touching on the white oaks, on the oaks.
We're touching on the oaks?
We call it somebody call it the infinity stones when you get each flavor with the different colors of the capsules.
I think that's the infinity stones, eh?
The infinity stones.
It's like Captain Planet. When you put everything together, who comes out?
By our powers combined. I
love it. So we're going to be talking about Angostura tonight. And we're going to be going through their website. We're going to be talking about e-commerce. We're going to see, what e-commerce opportunities are there. What would Ocey do if he was running the e-commerce department on Angostura? Then we're going to take a look over at their social media. We're going to break down, some of the things that they are doing. We're going to touch on the things that we like. We're going to touch on the things that we don't like. And if we ran it, what are some of the things that we would do differently? So, Ocey, tonight would not be right if you did not have a glass and you were sipping on something strong with me as we went through this segment tonight. What are you drinking tonight?
We here. I'm drinking pineapple white oak.
So you see, there is no, listen, even if we bash white oak and Angostura, we still drinking it. So don't feel no harm.
Come on, that's the national rum.
Love
it. Should be the national rum right now.
Love it. Jody says she's checking in from TNT. I don't want to butcher the name. I'm going to say just Miss Barrett. Miss Barrett says great initiative. Tuning in from Australia, but bringing the yardies in the building.
Wow. Australia. We
reach, man. We when I say we global, when people, the funny thing is, right? You tell people to go digital, to be online. And the reason you want to be there is because you can now tap into, once you have a product, a service, a platform, a message, you can now tap into markets that you physically cannot service, but there may be a digital way for you to be able to connect. And this is just a perfect example. Tuning in from Australia by way of Jamaica, and she's here with us live here in Trinidad and Tobago to watch the broadcast.
It's already Wednesday in Australia, and
I believe so.
I
Yes,
think so.
it is. Yes, it is. So, Osi, let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. All right. So let's start talking about the e-commerce side of things first, and then we will mosey our way along into the marketing side. So, what do you want to do? How do you want to start it? Kick it off for me, OC.
Right. So I think let me share my screen. Right. So I think my screen is sharing there now, right?
All right, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold on.
I mean, you could share yours to make it easy.
All right, OC, go ahead. You're good to
Right.
go.
So for me, so I just taking a dive into Solera TT. So Solera TT, I think, if I'm not wrong, is Angostura's direct to consumer arm of things. So I guess the main part of Angostura is business to business, where they would just supply groceries, liquor marts, bars, stuff like that, who would probably buy alcohol wholesale to retail, right? I think when it comes to direct to consumer now, globally there's been a change in the amount of people who consume alcohol on since the pandemic start, right? I
Right.
think in the US, I think it's going up onto almost like 100%. 2020, I think was a 40% increase. No, Kevin, I'm not drinking tomato juice. Okay? But I think there was a 40% increase in the US only in terms of like that, right? So what I would have done here, they have a regular site, of course, is WordPress. So this tool allows me to just pull a deep dive into the back end of what they're using in the back end of the website. So you
So
see
we so
WordPress
we can
here.
see that they are using WordPress for Solera and they're using the Divi page builder
Right? Divi
and
page
they
builder,
have they have WooCommerce built in.
most for the products,
Now,
correct?
I'm just curious. Are we able to see what payment processor or is there no payment processor?
No, but I think they would probably have it in the footer just to advertise who they're doing that. But I wouldn't show
All right.
up here.
All right.
Um,
Continue. I don't want to railroad your team. Continue. Go ahead.
no, that's fine. They have core analytics, Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel to track that. Blogs, I don't know how much blogs they do. And basically everything else is just core things that they would have done.
Right.
Database, where they're hosting it, MailChimp, more than likely as a email marketing campaign if they do
Right.
that. I'm not too sure if they do. Social logins for certain things, Facebook chats here. Now for me, I would have changed the look and feel of this. Um,
I hate that logo up top.
I do like this here one. I do like the user experience of it, meaning I do like the mere fact how I have to filter through the actual categories. So I would have wanted something more sleek, more user friendly to kind of, because this looks like how the older White Oak would have done, but then they would have rebranded and they kept like an image with how they change the shape of the bottles over the period of time and thing, and I would have upgraded the website,
Right.
right? But then I would have made this website something very similar to how the in-store Solera experience is. So in other words, that's something that's called e-commerce merchandising, meaning how does somebody come and navigate your website? Almost as though they're getting that in-store experience, because there are different types of retail, right?
Right.
So alcohol may not need that amount of consultative retail because most times somebody go in there to buy something that they already know, or they're pressured into trying because it's something new, like the new flavors that they have, right? So I
Right.
would have changed this look and feel. I would have put some nice little filters and facets on the left hand side with promotions. I would have had a couple sliders up on top to let people know seasonal things. Diwali is coming up. Well, if it didn't have lockdown, people would have been core on a Monday. People use white oak and thing to cook. I would have promote that. Christmas is coming up. There's a lot of people use white oak and punching in things like puncha creme. I'd have started that campaign now, probably turn that into a massive campaign. Get people who make puncha creme, probably do a competition and gain data from people, right? That's
So
probably what I would have done,
before you move down, right? Go back to the top.
right?
Now, one of the things with join our newsletter, and I mean just before even really going past any, just before we even scroll down, right? One of the two biggest ways to get people onto your email list, the two biggest, is either one, content. If you are producing content on your platform, people tend to join your email list because, well, if you're producing great content on your website, typically the email list is where you're going to get exclusive content. So people will subscribe because they're in tune with your brand, they like your content, they want more content or exclusive content, or anything else with your brand to join the list. And the second reason that people typically would join your email list is if you have a free downloadable or even a coupon code to exchange for the email. So
Because
right
that
off the gate, you know, I don't see, it doesn't look like, just right out the gate, it doesn't look like they create content on the platform because we're not seeing a media page, we're not seeing a blog page, we're not seeing anything that would suggest content. It looks like we're just going to be talking about products, right? And
so
join the newsletter. Again, if you do not incentivize me to join your newsletter, and even just tell me, hey, join the newsletter and get 10% off your first purchase. If there's no incentive, then I'm not joining. So that is something I noticed right off the gate.
correct. So for free, I would have hooked up HubSpot in the back end, have a pop up form asking people to do that, but track people where they convert from, right? And I'm going to turn all this right around into a business model just now, right?
Go ahead.
So I'm dealing with the direct to consumer arm, not even the business to business part of it, right? I would not have put free delivery on orders over 250. What I would have done is kind of transform Solera itself into a experience store, and I would have let people say, here's what, come in and mix your own type of rum. If you have an occasion, then you could print your own labels within the white oak labels, so that somebody would have like, here's what, imagine a white oak label with your face on it for your birthday, Karen. Something you would hold on to and tell people, right? So in other words, how do you use this website to turn customers into your referrals, right?
Right.
And then you gain market share through that, right? So I would have used delivery as a loss leader, meaning just like how Amazon break even, they sell Kindles and stuff at cost price and make money elsewhere. I would have had delivery free. Every day I would have had a driver going from east, west, north, south to deliver, but they would have charged one flat fee that would have been incorporated in
And
the price.
and even if you don't want to hire drivers, because I know somebody there is going to be like, well, the amount, the cost to bring on your own
Correct.
dedicated drivers, there's nothing stopping you from connecting with any of the ride sharing companies that offer delivery or any of the courier companies, so you don't have to bring on the workforce yourself. This is definitely something that you guys could outsource in the back end.
No, but essentially, I would have done it in house because remember the end goal for this is for this to be a data strategy, meaning all the consumer data I pull here, I could then use that to do focus groups or find out what is the next level of or the next flavor of alcohol I would drop. So this e-commerce is really just a gateway to a wider data-driven strategy for
Well,
the
you can
whole.
still collect the data because there are courier companies that have their APIs locally that allow you to build into
Correct,
your website.
correct. Well, as if they're going that far. I don't know if they'd have gone that far. For
Well,
me,
that's
I would have done it
and I'm only
in-house.
saying that if they didn't, if they did not, as an option, want to hire their
Yeah,
own
I would
drivers.
have done it in-house if I was running this.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry?
No, I said go ahead. You're
Yeah,
right.
because I
This
think
is your
Angostura has the
show.
capacity to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Um Gotta change the images, change these blocks, um, and make it more interactive. I would not have put this here. I would have put call to actions in different ways, meaning, have you tried? this white oak with this white oak, probably recipes, probably feedback from actual people, right? Or I would even try to probably get as far as putting something to say, hey, sign up here if you want to be an influencer, and not just use an influencer or a radio personality who they think have a lot of following, but people who actually drink the white oak every day. And when you look by them, they have 2 cases of white oak in bottles outside, probably waiting to soak to put punch a crib. So I've
Right.
tried a different angle because a lot of people think that here's what only influencers get PR packages and getting nice things to open up. I'd try a more grassroots thing because that grassroots approach shows that people, the man on the ground, even if he have $100 and he lying on the block whole day, then he would go and buy a white oak to drink. And those are the people that he had to continue targeting. Because even though your B2B strategy is different, it still results in the end customer. So even though I sell to a bar, it's still a man, an individual coming by that bar and purchasing rum. So the data I would have gathered here now, I would have used that to improve and help my B2B clients actually sell more because you have to do that.
One of the things that I'm seeing, um, I don't like that it's straight up buy, buy. There is no form of an experience to seduce me. What if this is my first time coming to Trinidad and I'm a rum connoisseur and I don't know nobody in Trinidad. I don't know what the national rum is, but let's just say I've Googled rum and I come to Angostura Solera, and again, it's just products. Something that
Right.
I would have liked for somebody who is not, a big rum guy, is there should be something like an assessment form. If there was something that said, "Hey, is this your first time learning about Angostura? Is this your first time trying an Angostura rum? Fill out this profile, and at the end of the profile, it makes some recommendations as to rums to try out."
Well, I mean, you could do that. You could do that. That's all part of your data driven approach, I guess. You could do that, correct. Um, Recommend specific type of rum for different type of. You could tie alcohol to personality traits. You could tie alcohol to events. You could tie alcohol to seasonal things. You could tie alcohol to different lifestyles.
Because there's
Um,
nothing here. There's nothing. It's
Correct.
just
There's
here's the
nothing.
product, right? But
So
again,
I would
if I don't know anything about these products, I would have liked to have seen something that kind of educated me on the products and kind of walked me through. Hey, if you're new, I fill out these things, whatever, and then I get some recommendations spat back out to me. Or what do you think? I know they have the Facebook option here, but is something like a chatbot? Would a chatbot fit into this scheme?
well, they ideally have a Facebook chat here that you could continue as a guest, and that is from their social login, and um, they could have tied it back to this Facebook widget here. I'm not too sure if they're capturing any type of information from that. Um, but I mean, the other thing I would have done is I would have tried to move collections in store and turn the store into that in store experience. I would have come and mix your own white oak. If you feel like you want pineapple and grapefruit white oak half and half, come in and mix it, get that experience, people document it, post it to social media, and they fit in the funnel in a different way, right? Um, but also I would have done cash. It may not be cash on delivery, but I would have done at least links on delivery because for me to pay percentage should charge my card, my MasterCard or my credit card to buy rum in a local currency. I think that's always an issue for me personally.
You don't
I
want to
do
spend 10 grand, 11 grand?
no, I just do like to spend US for local things that I could spend TT dollars for, and I'm not charging my credit card for that, even though it charges in TT dollars.
Right.
Right? So that's one of the other things I would have changed. Apart from the whole experience of e-commerce merchandising, I would have laid out this differently. I mean, I've tried to even gone as far as AR, um, and show some cool things on how alcohol is. Because you could move mixed drinks videos in AR,
All right,
or you
so
could turn a
Osi,
picture in AR.
let me ask you. You consider yourself a rum connoisseur, do you not?
course.
All right, you've drank some of the best from the east to the west to the north to the south. Am I correct? All right. What I want you to do for me is pull up, so people have an idea. What is your favorite rum's website? Pull up one of your favorite rum website, and we have a video that we're gonna queue up after. But let's show people what is a really good experience. So I mean, we've talked a little bit about Angostura, some of the things that we would have changed. Let's go into something that we do like in terms of what is a really good experience digitally, so people have an idea as to what's a good experience.
I'm not even too sure if you could get a full experience on any site, but this is one of the rums that I love, runs Zacapa, especially 23. The site is cool because it's a Guatemalan rum. The where to buy would also be like that, but this is something that you'll see in a duty free, or even if you see it in a grocery, it would be in the higher price point, like the four something for a bottle, maybe five something for a bottle. But I think just this experience of the layout and the look, this background here is cool. Um, I think this rum would have won an award for something also. Recipes, they could show you how to mix it, also on the site. So it's not a direct sale per se when you're scrolling through. Um, they give you a little bit of information about it. Age 7,545 feet above sea level. So that when you're drunk and in an argument with your friends, you could tell them, hey, is your rum aged at that height where it could barely breathe? Those are the kind
Right.
of things that I would use. And they show you a lot of things, even if it's just about how they make the band. So like this, there's this band that goes around it. They show you how it's made, hand woven by Guatemalan people representing the Mayan tribe. So I think all of this is really, really just cool. You could put in a zip code, you could find it, or you could find the different levels of it. 23, there's 15, there's this EXO. And I think that this site is cool, even though it's not something that you could buy from directly. I just think that the site is really, really cool.
You
The
know,
logo,
I
have the
want you to pull up a website. I want you to pull up Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
Pull up Captain Morgan. I think what Captain Morgan's done with their site. I mean we've known the brand for as long as we were born, really. But I
Correct.
like what they've done in terms of content. So this might not be a full e-commerce experience, but in terms of content, this is something that I think would play very well with Angostura, given the amount of products under the Angostura umbrella. So when you click on cocktails, right? Click on cocktails for me. Give us a nice little scroll. Right.
All right,
So they have a wide variety of recipes for different drinks, right? We can filter. I like that type of rum, the difficulty to mix. I thought that was interesting, and the ingredients, right?
Oh yeah, this is lit. This is lit. Simple, complex. Yeah, wow. Now this is crazy. This is crazy.
Right. Now
Yes,
click
all right.
on, go
I would
ahead.
have seen this and I would have seen, all right, what is good to mix with this pink grapefruit white oak or the other not so normal flavors.
Right, right. Click on one of the drinks. So I like how they give a little breakdown of the drink as to what it is, what's the kind of party vibe or whatever. They have a bit of a history of that particular drink, and then they start to break down
No,
what
but
are
more
you.
so, let me stick up in here.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah. Go
stick
ahead.
up. When you're talking about e-commerce now, all these images are optimized for image search, I'm sure. But even though we click this, because it takes us to a new page, this entire page now fits Google's or even Bing's SEO score. There's enough caption and copy here, there's enough images here, and the entire thing with outbound links. I'm sure the SEO score for this page is really, really high. So even though it is not to buy, you could come to the page, and this page is discoverable by search engines. So you could always, almost, if you type in dark rum or spice gold or some one of the keywords found here, that you would probably find the page.
So
Captains.
hold on, OC. Hold on. I'm just gonna further your point, right? I'm taking over for 1 second. I want you guys to check this out. So I'm going to go into search and I'm going to type in Captain Storm. Ocey, what is the first link that pops up, my friend?
Exactly.
So
Captain Morgan, Captain
Storm, right? So just like Ocey said, the page is optimized for search. And the minute I typed in Captain Storm, the first link popping up is the link to the drink Captain Storm. Go ahead, Ocey. Go back. You have control.
Right? Yeah, I go through. You just tell me.
Yes.
I just thought they should highlight that part.
In terms of content, right? Now go back to Angostura. So if you just hover over the filters at the top, right? Look at how many products they have, right? And these are wines. The questions that people ask about wine is vast. Matter of fact, the amount of content you can create from wines is huge because wines have so many different purposes. And one of the things I would have loved to have seen them do is, Ocey, if you want to be fancy for a night, right? You invite over a nice young lady, for a nice little dinner. I just be watching your Instagram stories. You just be chefing it up. I see you put some a rack of ribs on the grill the other day. I know you're doing your thing, right?
For the mental health, you got to cook something nice.
All right. So you doing something for the mental health. You're cooking up your ribs, and the girl that you brought over to the house, she ain't no rum drinker. Right? So you can't pull out a white oak. She not going with that. She wants some wine. But Ocey, you as a rum head, you have no idea about wine. So in a jam, you jump on Angostura's website and you see the list of wine. What would be really nice is if they broke down the wines. If there was a section that had wine content to tell you, hey, this is a dinner wine. This is a wine that goes with steak. This is a wine that goes with this. Right.
The red, not too sweet. This, you might need a Merlot. You might need a this, that.
Correct.
And then you recommend it.
Yes. And that's the type of content you should have on the first page. Are you looking for wine suggestions or whatever, however you want to label it? But the goal now
be on the product page. It should be on the product page like this. If there's a drink, all right, look this caption. If there's a drink that sums up the Jamaican spirit, right? This fiery party classic. So immediately if you're looking for that Jamaican spirit, but if you're in America and you can't get that overproof, that rare nephew, that Appleton, if you can't get any of those things, this may sum up your Jamaican spirit. Other than a drink that's named like those awesome drinks that name the Jamaican smile and all these other things that you would get. Just seeing this, I would say, all right, let me see if I get a taste of Jamaica in it, right? And then I would go to the ingredients and say, all right, is that dark rum, ginger ale, lime? All right, cool. And then I would decide. But you're absolutely correct with the content about how the wine is and if it's paired with food, because a lot of people do understand how their product interacts with other things as a gateway for content. Wine and cheese, wine and steak, wine and sushi. And then you could even get it as far as, hey, wine and Netflix. So you could even get as far as, hey, this thing is now premiering. Did you have this wine? I'd put that on social media, use that as breadcrumbs to lead back to the site, and then somebody could purchase. And then you have a special delivery of wine if you buy it on a Tuesday at a different price if you buy it on a different day.
Yeah, and and here's the thing, right? When you have a website like this, and their product lines are pretty set, they're not going to be changing up their product lines every other day, right? Their product lines are pretty set. What happens with the website like this is that it is now static. There's no content that's being produced on the website, and any website that is not fluid and dynamic, that isn't producing content, you actually get downranked from the search engines, because the search engines, just like how on social media, when you don't post for a long time, it makes it hard to build back up the algorithm to start pushing your stuff again. Is the same thing with search engines. When you have no content produced from your website and you have a static website, that downranks you on these search engines. So you don't want to build a website where it's just static product. You want to be able to put content out there to show to the search engines that you are, hey, this website is active. We are producing. And that is how you get more people coming back to the platform. I want you
Yeah,
to
man.
open
Just
up
now,
another.
Kerry.
Go ahead.
Just
Go
now,
ahead.
before you go that far, now you also have to understand from a business standpoint, Angostura may not be looking at this as a heavy revenue generator. This is probably a
Hey, this is if we running it.
correct, right? But I have to put it into context so that people could understand. So for me, this once you go under wine, I would have changed these categories, these filters here, right? Port red, right? We know red, we know white. If I don't know what Malbec is, if I don't know what Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, all of these things are, right? I would have put separate facets on the side so that I could filter differently. Um, I don't know if a girl tell me, hey, I want a red wine, but I don't want it dry. I don't want a dry wine. I want a sweet one. Like, how do I
How do you
know?
know?
How do I know on the side? There's nothing guiding me. There's nothing guiding people
Anything.
who don't know to move to a place where they could be educated and learn and say, all right, cool. I know this now, then I could buy this.
So back in Canada, we have something called LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. Well, this is an Ontario initiative, right? Back where I live. And one of the things that when you walk into the stores, all of their wines are labeled for different types of dryness and different sweetness. And then the store ups will tell you a bit of a guide as to how the labels work. So when you're going through the wines, you will know if something is dry, if it's not too dry. You will know if it's a sweet wine, all based on the labels. Because again, they also want you to be independent so that when you are exploring, you're not wondering what is what. These things are complicated, and there is a whole science to wine.
The other thing why I would have put not just filters, but I would have put facets so that people could actually drill down into the facet categories for dinner, for date nights, for different things, right?
So,
Um,
Ocey, let's jump on this. Are we
just
misleading by comparing a retail storage page with brand pages?
oh no 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 no. This is e-commerce across the bat. We're not being misleading by comparing retail store with a brand page. Angostura is a brand because we know Angostura here to be the alcohol or the factory or the distillery that makes that. So Angostura by extension is the brand of the alcohol. But essentially, if it's anybody retailing alcohol, these are the things that we would do either way. Whether
Correct.
it's a liquor mart, whether it's anybody who wants to sell certain things online, right? Whether
Correct.
it's grocery stuff items, food stuff items.
These
Each
strategies are not just limited
correct.
to Angostura. These
Each
things
layer
are. Go ahead.
each layer of retail is different. So the way how your actual grocery is set up with aisles is so that people could walk through the aisles, comb through and buy things in an order. And then when they go to the cashier, there's these small little racks that have these small things that would trigger impulse purchase. Right? The chewing gum, the catch, the chocolate, right there, grab it and put it on the belt and cash it. Right? That is different from if you go into a hardware or like an electronic store where you go with a problem and you tell them your problem and they give you a item for a solution. That's a little bit more consultative in the retail space. Here we want self-service checkout. We want people to come 2 o'clock in the morning. We want them to see something. A man forget the anniversary, God forbid, or something big the next day. He want to order something last minute. 2 o'clock in the morning, he can't go to a grocery. We under curfew,
Yeah,
right?
but you see, I'm comparing Angus to a bitters page. It doesn't matter. What we're trying to say is these are strategies that are across the board. It doesn't matter whether it's Angostura bitters
No, no.
page. It doesn't
Nah,
matter.
no,
It doesn't matter. These are strategies across
it
the
doesn't matter.
board. It doesn't matter.
So even though on any e-commerce page, from the time I scroll down to the bottom and I go into and I see number 1 to 16 pages, I go on because I am not going to comb through 15 or 16 pages because I don't know which page my thing is on. So if I could come on the side here, filter, right? Drill down into what exactly I want, and then you see recommended orders. Or if the site search work, then fine, right? And I could actually search my product in a proper way, then that's fine. But I am not going to go through 15 pages. Suppose the wine I want
No,
is on
for
page 14.
yeah, nah, that ain't happening. So Ocey, what I want
Suppose,
you to go ahead, finish up.
no, I was just saying, suppose I close the site long time.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. What I want you to do is let's jump into Johnny Walker because we wanted to touch on Johnny Walker. Pull up their website. I love their website. And then as you pull it up, we're going to queue up a video of their in-store experience. And Ocey, this is something that you wanted to showcase, right? Why was one of the reasons why you liked the in-store experience of Johnny Walker?
Um, because it changes the narrative on how people buy. Now, when you go to that experience, and I experienced that in a couple countries where they have like a rum fest and you're allowed to mix your own drink, there's a level of, I don't know if it strokes your ego or something that has you thinking, here's what I mix this, I like the taste, you taste this, and you're no longer buying. You remove the anxiety from buying because you are able to taste a product. It's almost like a proof of concept
Right.
in a service business, right? So if I get to go in a store, I get to experience, I get to see different things that I didn't even know. My mind is open, but I also get to taste it. And then on the back of that tasting, now I can then configure something in my mind, meaning I'm getting to tailor my purchase where the value, my perception of the value would way exceed the price, right? Then I would do that. For me, it's an experience. At least let me wash my hand and put hand sanitizer on my hand for something like that. I don't want to just wash my hand 10,000 times and go in a grocery and just wonder, should I buy this green or should I buy this different color Johnny Walker?
Right. So before we showcase the video, what I want to let people know is what we're talking about today is we're looking at Angostura's website. We're looking at the marketing, and we're seeing things that we would do if we were to run the e-commerce side and the marketing side. We're also looking at other brands to showcase what some of the other brands are doing and contrasting them, right? Because again, even though we know Angostura, again, we're going to buy products from Angostura because we like the brand, there are still things that they could improve on. There are still things that from a content side that a wide variety of brands are doing that we would love to see Angostura do, and we're bringing those things down. So let me cue up the video, and then we'll go to the website, all right? So this video is a video of the in-store experience into one of the Johnny Walker stores. Let's take a look.
With me for a sneak peek of the new Johnny Walker Princes Street experience in Edinburgh before it opens to the public on the 6th of September. Guys, this is 8 floors of scotch. It is wall to wall in whiskey. It's a multi-million-pound fit out of a former department store in Edinburgh. Everything is separated into flavour camps here, so even if you're not sure what type of whiskey you like, you can take a test like this one here, find your unique flavour profile. I did a test and it came up with tropical, which is quite apt for me actually. You can even go and try one of these aroma sticks, so see which one of these you like. I tried a tropical one and actually pretty damn delicious. That's definitely my camp. You get the opportunity to fill your own bottle of Johnny Walker as well. It's a unique blend to Princes Street. Just be careful when you're filling your bottle, don't do it so fast as I did, and you don't want that bottle to spill over and you don't want to drop any of that lovely whiskey. So this particular one is the autumn blend, full of notes of orchard fruits and baking spices. Get to put your label on as well at that 20 degrees, which is signature to Johnny Walker too. While you're there, don't forget to also grab a dram. So these are the Four Corners whiskies from Johnny Walker. This was the Isla blend, I believe, and it was absolutely delicious. Great for drunk shopping. Of course, you need to go and take a tour while you're there. So there are plenty to choose from, and every single one is bringing the story of Johnny Walker and Scotch whisky to life. I won't give too much away, but it is wonderful. The one I did was Journey into Flavour. So you get 3 drinks as part of that for £25. The first one you have is a highball, and it's tailored to that unique flavour profile that you chose before. So this glass is yellow, which is the tropical flavour profile for me. So that is, I think, Johnny Walker Gold label that they've chosen, topped up with soda water. And then you get to choose your garnish from this garnish table. please do it a bit more cleanly than I did just there. And I actually decided to chuck in a bit of dried orange too, because why not? It's my drink, it's my rules, do what I like. Enjoy it. This room was wonderful. It's so beautiful. Just look at that ceiling, all of that map of Scotland with all of the foliage coming off it. Beautiful. So here is where we find out how flavour is created through the production process, through this beautiful animation. I won't give too much away, but you learn a lot in this room. When there's also beautiful amount of theatre as well. Lots of aromas released. So yes, you get 2 more drinks. So we wander into a bar, and you can choose from here a dram or a highball, or even an old-fashioned. I chose a creamy highball. Tried a different flavour camp because why not? Let's just give it a go. No trip to Johnny Walker Princess Street would be complete without a visit to the rooftop bar. Guys, just come for this alone. Go and grab a cocktail, grab a dram, and just check out these views across Edinburgh. They're not to be beaten. There's this wonderful, beautiful view of the
Ocey, so I have a question for you. Is that store worth you washing your hands, sanitizing, dusting off your shoes, wearing a nice little shirt? And how are you feeling when you walk into that store?
I want a blazer to go in the store first. First, I want to work out at there like Starbucks. Could I have access to the internet for 8 hours, please? By Wednesday, the security know me by my first name. Hey, Ocey, how you going?
Window seat? Window seat?
when they see me, they calling me, Ocey, you ain't coming? You ain't coming?
Right.
Yeah, I'm present. And again, everything from inception, and that's the beauty of technology. You see where they have that part that says create your flavor profile.
Yes.
On that tablet.
Yes.
What that does, there's a psychological effect when it comes to e-commerce and personalization.
Yes.
And you see, personalization at scale could be done in different ways. So that unique flavor profile, and this is why I'm on this page, because Angostura have 1787, 1824, 1919, Angostura 7. There are some good ones. However, having a flavor profile is different.
Right.
Because some people like to drink with soda. I cannot drink with soda. I probably just haven't reached that stage as yet.
Right.
Some people like sweet things. Some people don't like sweet rum. But what is your flavor profile? And the information is there even if you just watch a random line. You might see 5 to 10 people drinking one bottle of rum, but with 3 different chasers. One like ginger ale, one like Sprite, one like water, one like tonic water, one like coconut water, for all different reasons.
Yeah.
And you see that personalization aspect, it takes it to a different level. And of course, what you're doing is you're capturing consumer data there, and then you could always upgrade them. You could always upsell, cross-sell, and even pass them on to other brands for seasonal things.
And something like as you're coming in and you're getting the flavor profile of people, right? One of the things that really does as well is, so I don't consider myself a big rum drinker, right? And I also don't want to go into a store or a place like that and taste everything. I know I would get carried away. You might have to carry me out. So
Correct.
If you can now narrow down, you get my particulars, get my information, give me recommendations. I know I'm going to try, 5, 6 runs and those combinations. I don't need to now go into a store and try every single thing to find out what I like or what the combination is like. Because the reality is, you don't know if you want to mix it with juice or what works with soda. You won't know until you try.
Correct.
So having an experience like that where you can now, again, personalization at scale, you're getting the flavor profiles, that goes a long way in terms of... Go ahead.
So that is happening in different parts of things. So I always have contrary versions of things, right? So I would always say, you'd always hear me say, branding for me, a lot of people like to talk branding and different things and say, and make it seem like it's really, really complex so that people don't understand. But I think in its purest form, branding is removing the anxiety from purchasing.
Right.
So people would purchase where perceived value exceeds price.
Right.
Branding is removing that anxiety from a purchase
Right.
because you're saying it happens with everything else. You're saying if I buy this and it doesn't work out, do I have the money to buy the thing that I'm accustomed to?
Right.
You ever go out with somebody and everywhere they go to eat something is chicken tenders and fries?
Right. Yeah. I'm that
Because
guy.
if they try something new and it doesn't taste good, you do have the money to buy two things at once. It happens with phones, iPhones. People don't want to leave the ecosystem because
Yeah.
they think if they spend 1,000 US on a Samsung, I do have a next 1,000 US to buy an iPhone when I'm done. So
Yeah.
guess what? I'll stick to what I knew,
Right.
right? Because right.
So
So branding for Angostura here now should just remove the anxiety from purchasing. And what Johnny Walker would have done with that tasting is say, here's what you now know what you want. There's no anxiety in you buying 3, 4 other drinks because you may be on a budget. But here's what we know exactly what you want. So start there. And if that is not it, then go to a different part of the flavor profile.
let's kind of run through the website, and then I wanna jump into the social media real quick before we wrap up the conversation. Because
All
time
right.
flies when you're having fun, and we almost had 50 minutes already.
Yeah, boy. Every day. So yeah, first thing first, I like the animation. I like the responsiveness. It's actually
Clean. It's
cool, and clean, correct. Explore. I'd make this button a little bit smaller, of course. I'd make that a little bit smaller and more interactive, of course. I don't even know why Johnny Walker have the red because the red is one of the roughest things ever,
boy.
ever.
There's people for that, man. There's people for that.
There's people. Well, yeah, it's not for me. It's definitely not for me.
Hover over the guys. Actually, no. Finish going through the website. Finish going through it. I think this is great. I love the fact that they have. Look at the Johnny and Ginger section, right? So they already are showing you. They're already showing you recipes for drinks right on the homepage. This is one of the things I did not like about Angostura. It just went right to selling. There was no experience in it. It just went right to selling.
Not even a rum and coke, and that's what we're known for.
Right. Now we could do some things differently. We can kind of showcase to people, this is what we're about. Have some fun. Make this be an experience. And here's the next thing. One of the key metrics for search engine ranking is time on page. If you are not giving reasons for people to spend longer time on your website, then you get downranked by the search engines as well. So if the only thing we can do on that Solera website is add to cart and jump off, they get buried based on the algorithms because people are not spending time on the website because there's no reason to. Or they might spend time on the website simply scrolling through the 20 pages of wines, but it's not a good experience. But when you go through this, that homepage is supposed to entice you. It's supposed to say, welcome to the world of Angostura, right? We are right now in the world of Johnny Walker. They're giving us a taste of everything. We get look at the section that says explore your drink IQ. Can you scroll to that? I think you need to scroll. There we go. Look at this. It's good to think about your relationship with alcohol and drinking. If you'd like to change it, whatever that means, why not start with the difference you want to make? No matter what your current circumstances are, Drink IQ is here to give you the facts, tools, and support to explore informed decisions. I think they just have so many different elements to make this website interactive that make you connect with the brand deeper than just, here's the rum.
No vibes. I watching this on Whiskey Guide.
Yes, let's go into that.
Whiskey Guide. Wow. Whiskey knowledge. Whiskey knowledge. And a lot of people underestimate the power of educational marketing, educational content. How is whiskey made? Wow. Types of whiskey. Make a blended Scotch whiskey. All right. Okay, Johnny.
These are things that the Angostura brand, They have so many different elements underneath that umbrella. They can play around with these types of content on their website. They can make their brand, a bit more dynamic. Because even if you go on the regular Angostura website, so do you have that up?
Nah, the regular Angostura.
Pull up the regular Angostura website.
Is it not House of Angostura?
Nah, it's just angostura.com.
Right.
And you see, right off the bat, what is a major problem right then and there, Ocey, do you see? Anytime you see a website that's not secure, folks, search engines downrank you for not having an SSL certificate. Almost every hosting provider gives you these things for free, and even if you have to pay for it, they're not expensive. But guess what? Not having an SSL certificate, one, gets you downranked, and two, there are a variety of firewalls of people who cannot access a website that does not have an activated SSL certificate. So that's something that they should address as soon as possible.
Yeah, because some laptops would say this site is a risk if you want to proceed anyway.
So in going through this website, right? Now, the home website they're giving you a bit more of the history of the brand and stuff like that, right? But one of the things that the key thing that I still want to see from them that is not apparent or even on the home website is they don't make content. When you look at the content that Johnny Walker creates on their page, that Captain Morgan creates on their page, Angostura does not create content. It's still just very cut and dry. You know, after you come to this website once, how many times am I going to read about who we are, our people, our history, our vision and mission? Listen, when's the last time you've clicked on a website's vision and mission for the brand?
Yes.
Don't think I've ever have. I could care less about a company's vision and mission, right? I could care less. However, they have so many different ways to bring us in to create content to educate us about the product. The most they do in this is the rum making process. What you are seeing is this website, and that if you look at the rum making process, it's just one YouTube video, right? But what this website says is this is all about me. This is about Angostura. If we were to pull up them in SEMrush, we would see that all of the traffic coming in from those pages are all branded traffic. They're not creating content that focuses on a customer experience and educating you, the customer who is purchasing and wants to learn more about this brand, and not your vision and mission.
Correct. But then again, you see when you're a company of that size, you need to.
But come on,
we're putting the efforts into something else, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, this is if we ran it, right?
Correct.
If we ran it, this is what we would do.
I definitely would have done more because 1919 is a big rum, but
I love that rum.
1919 is our boss. 1919 is our boss.
And this is nothing against the product. Just so people know, this is nothing against the product. Let me just turn the camera on real quick. This is nothing against the product. We like the product, right? We're just showcasing to you guys, things that we see from their platform, things that we would do differently, and we're showing you guys other brands and the types of things they're doing on their platforms. And things that Angostura could do on their platforms. Whether it is Solera, whether it is Angostura.com, the point is that they're not doing any of it. And these are opportunities for them to be able to grow that presence and offer more of a consumer experience other than on Solera. It's very cut and dry. Here's the alcohol, here's the product, buy and leave us alone. On Angostura.com, all this says is me, Angostura. There's no experience to make you want to come on this website. This is a straight, corporate website. If a corporate person were to come on the website and want to learn, but this isn't one for a good user experience for you to want to come to.
Correct. Because so for me, if I have an e-commerce site, that digital asset, once I invest money into it, it has to bring the maximum return on investment or the maximum revenue that it can. So Angostura, I mean, I can't say they're leaving money on the table, but there's things that they could do that would make people buy more rum because you are now tapping into different markets. There are people who just like to. I grew up in Tobago. I grew up with people seasoning food with rum, right? There's a
Right.
cooking market to it. There's that punch market for it. There's that other whoever want to cook other things. People just throw rum and all kind of thing.
All right.
But I would essentially jam it with content marketing, change up the e-commerce, and provide an experience because at the end of the day, those are ways that people could drive traffic. You could get data that is valuable. You could put a cost on
On
it, but you could also now gain more revenue.
on top of which, these are websites. People come to them. If you do not give a reason for people to come to your website, they're not coming. So regardless of whether it's B2B, B2C, if there's no reason for me to come to the website, people are not coming. And when we check, I'm glad you pulled it up. Let's check the traffic that comes to the website. So you just pulled up Solero. What's the traffic that we get on a monthly basis? Perfect example. 616 people come to the website a month. For a brand the size of Angostura, and this is Solero's website. This is their B2C website.
Yeah, that's the only direct to consumer side.
Here we can see these are the top keywords that people are typing in on the Google search engine that is leading to a web page from Solero's website. And in knowing this, this is good content to create around products that people are searching for.
Correct. Very correct.
All right. So see, we hit the 1 hour mark. What I want you to do is pull up a tab and let's just go to Instagram real quick and let's take a quick look at their Instagram pages. Let's see what type of content they're putting out on social media.
Well, now you got to check that because my Instagram.
All
don't
right,
even
no
come.
worries. All right, no worries. Let me bring that up. All right, so first things first, let's type in Angostura. Oh, I think we lost OC real quick. OC, you back? Hold on, I think OC, all right, perfect. I thought I lost you for a second.
Yeah.
All right, so when we type in Angostura on Instagram, so what is one of the challenges that you when you seen what Angostura does from an Instagram perspective? What was one of the things that you did not like? From the jump?
The amount of brand channels, the amount of Instagram profiles. I think it's just too much for me though. I mean, I may could understand the Angostura White Oak because if they're trying to push White Oak as a
As an
standalone brand
brand, right?
and it grows with the flavors, I could get that.
But
Everything else, I don't know.
first of all, I look at the name of Angostura. Oh my goodness.
Aromatic bitters.
Yeah, that's a problem right out the gate just to have that. Right?
Bitters is a big deal though. Bitters is a big deal.
Yeah, but I'm
Nobody
like
bitters
first
like
things first, the name itself, right? That's not a user-friendly name for Instagram purposes. I'm just highlighting that, right? It's a lot. And chances are people are going to struggle to type that in. But luckily, it'll come up as soon as you start to type in Angostura. Now, should they be creating a new Instagram page for every single product? Because it seems like anytime they launch a product, they're putting out a new channel on social media.
I don't know if internally they think it's a good thing. I mean, I guess that's probably one way that they could measure the traffic going to that specific channel. I don't know. I don't know what's the reasoning behind it, but I mean, if they see fit, I would not have done it. But
Yeah. Kyle says, do we reach out to these companies to offer your services? No, Kyle.
no,
We
no,
have fun. Listen, these are conversations that me and Ocey would have offline, just going back and forth. We would see a brand. Ocey gives his take. I give my take. Sometimes I tell Ocey, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're mad. Ocey will tell me the same thing. And we have these conversations offline. Only thing we're doing is having these conversations and allowing you guys to kind of join in with us as we pick a brand. We talk about the things that, again, what we would do from an e-commerce or marketing perspective, and have some fun. Drink some rum, drink some rum, have some fun. And if you guys can take anything from it, great, right? But at least the conversation was definitely had. So Ocey, when we look at White Oak Instagram, what do you like? Let's start with what you like. Give me 2 things that you like from the Instagram of White Oak.
I'm probably not the best person to ask that question ever. I don't know.
No, I know what you don't like. I know what you don't like, but I want to start with what you like.
I don't think there's anything I like.
You don't like Charlotte? Wee boy. Man don't like Charlotte. My goodness. All right, go ahead.
No,
I digress. Go ahead.
Like there's nothing. I don't know. There's nothing. I'm neutral. There's nothing to like or not like about it. I don't know.
It's very adsy.
I'm not really too huge on social media and the optics of how it should look or should not look.
All right.
But I mean, some of the images is vibes. So I mean,
nice. Vibes. Dominique says she likes the color theme. Yeah, I think from an aesthetic standpoint, I think they've done that. Instagram, we know, focuses heavily on the visuals, so I think they've nailed that. I like the visuals. They have some good imagery, so I like that. Right now, what don't you like?
And just see mere fact that everything just revolves around. I don't know. I think it just only like it's built around influencers. Like I don't know if they don't know anything else could drive traffic. But I guess that's what I would stay with. I mean, look like it's only one way to get traffic: pretty images and influencers. I don't know.
So
maybe if I see how they measure it and I see how it track back and if the influencer campaigns actually drive the correct return on investment, then I could see.
Let's take a look at that, right? So here's my thing. As you brought up that it's heavily influencer based, right? To me, as much as I like the color scheme, as much as I think the imagery is good, there's no variety in the type of content. It seems like the only way they know how to market is let's just give an influencer a bottle of rum and have them post a pretty picture with the rum, and that is it. All right. So there's no variety in the types of content that they're creating on the White Oak page. And then on top of that, we see that the link in bio goes to Angostura promos, which is yet another channel for Angostura. All right. When we look at, so again, we talked about how it's heavily influencer based, right? If we look at the influencers' content, we should be seeing things that are like a discount code. Are they measuring what influencers themselves are driving traffic back to Celero for orders to get placed? From what I've seen, anytime I've seen any of the influencers post about White Oak or any of the products, they've never promoted link in bio. They've never promoted discount codes. So Angostura is not going to be able to track properly which influencer themselves is driving, or which influencer are they getting the most traffic with, and how much traffic is each individual influencer sending, and who is driving the most sales.
Right.
So it's pretty much like they are stuck on one metric, which is awareness. Let's just give the product, pay the influencer, and let's just tap into their audience and just raise awareness. But at some point, you need to be able to directly connect your content to sales. And Ocey, I'll give you talk. I'm gonna cue up an example of what I mean. I'm gonna pull up my HubSpot just to show people that we can track where traffic is coming from. But go ahead, give me your thoughts on that.
Correct. There are multiple ways that people could actually track influencer campaigns right back to the actual sale, or if not a sale, a conversion to a lead. Right. I would have done it in a total different way, but I guess I don't know. I think that's considered like the low hanging fruit, and I think people just run to an influencer and say, hey, talk about this over and over, offer this, and the last conversation I had with somebody is that they actually measure it in overall sales.
Can't do that.
So essentially it's like, all right, this ad spend to probably this agency lead to 100,000 cases sold compared to this time last year or something like that, or this quarter.
And you can't do that. You absolutely can't do that, because you cannot definitely say that Major Penny attributed 30% of sales from his platforms. So let me show you what we're talking about, right? This is my back end of my HubSpot connected to my website. I can see, if you look at the side where it says first page shown, this means that this is the pages that drove the traffic to my website. So people click, these were the first links that they seen to come to my website. I can see exactly which was the first platform, which is the platform that drove the traffic. So these last bit of people came from Google. Now, the reason why you love to see Google showing up is because Google is organic traffic. This means that somebody jumped on Google, typed in a question or a query, seen my content, clicked on it, and then because they're showing up in HubSpot, this means that they actually subscribed to my mailing list when they came to the platform, because that's the only way for them to end up in my HubSpot is by them subscribing. If we scroll down even further, we're going to see things like Facebook. So I know that this person came from my blog from Facebook. And if we go down, we're going to see things like LinkedIn, we'll see Yahoo, we will see Instagram. All right? Anywhere people come or anywhere people see my content, regardless of the platform, so look, I can track who came from Instagram. Also, if I sell anything on the website, this is going to track the sales as well. And it's going to show me what platform drove the sale. It's going to show me what piece of content led to the sale.
Correct.
All right. So these are some of the things that, again, when we look at, the social media channels, are they driving traffic back to the platform? Are they tracking it? Ocey pulled up both Angostura and Celero, and we don't see any CRM tool in the back end to track any of the activity. So we already know they're not tracking conversions because there is no CRM attached to the website. We checked. We're showing you guys too.
Unless they they're just using other metrics. That's really scratching the surface. You can't really check the conversion across multiple channels, meaning across a website, across social media, across a search engine, or different things.
Correct.
And that is the kind of traffic that you need to track, which is really a game changer when you see where your people come from, what sites they went on before and after you, and the other things that they like. Those are the things that we need to look at.
Correct. Now, let's take a look at this. The reason I pulled up Penny is because Penny's an influencer. First post I pulled up, there is no call to action to drive traffic to their website. There is no discount code. So again, they're not trying to drive traffic to a platform to be able to check the metrics to see which influencer is giving them the most traffic to their platform?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm hoping somebody in there has some sort of metric that they would base these campaigns on. Now, this is no knock to the influencers. Influencers will do what they have to do. Um,
Oh,
but
correct,
brands,
correct. This is nothing to do with the influencer.
yeah,
They're doing
brands
what they
have
have
to
to do.
understand how they could measure it, because right now, in this go over season that it is, there's a lot of people who kind of want to cut marketing spend or cut different spend, and they don't understand how things like this, where they don't see as a direct return on investment, actually brings them money once they track it properly and they're able to extract that data, mine it, turn it into a strategy, and then go after people. And I think a lot
Correct.
of people here just taught data, but when it comes to gathering consumer data and consistently turning it into strategies where you always have to move and navigate, I think there's big gaps with that here in the region, more so
Correct.
Trinidad.
Correct.
And these are the things that we have to tighten up on.
Because if you look at this, what a metric that we know that they're using in terms of success would be how many likes that
Right.
person got. They may or may not even be asking the influencer to send over how many shares, how many saves for each post did you receive for that. They may not even be asking that. They may just be tracking only likes from what they can see. But as I
Well, I
showed
don't
you
know.
guys, this is the type of data that needs to be tracked. I need to be able to attribute all of my content. So any piece of content I put out, I need to be able to say, hey, this blog about if I, let me just hold on, let me just move this over, right? Just to show you guys. So this blog that I wrote on getting paid with PayPal, I can directly attribute how much money this blog has generated. I can see which platforms is this content being viewed the most on, and I can see how many subscribers are coming in through each channel and through each piece of content. So at any point in time, I could tell you, hey, this one blog, getting paid with PayPal in Trinidad and Tobago, has generated $100,000 in revenue for my business because I'm tracking it. I can see all of that stuff.
Correct.
Right? So again, these are some of the things that we would love to see, Angostura. This is what we would do if we were working with Angostura. So just to kind of recap, OC, just highlight some of the e-commerce things that we talked about that you would do if you were managing Angostura.
Yeah. Change the UI UX, add more data analytics tools. I would have added something. There's one called Quantcast that is cool. Hotjar. There's actually a really cool one that measures heat maps and things just like Hotjar called
Right.
Microsoft Clarity. Right? Microsoft getting in the
What,
game.
and what is a heat map? Just for people that don't know, what's a heat map?
Heat maps really just show you the concentrated area that people spend on a page on your site. So you get to look at it from a session standpoint. Meaning if somebody spend a lot of time on your home page in the top right hand corner, it will show that heat map there and the duration. You could pull it out and you could then check your UI UX to see, all right, what is it on my site at that point that has people going there or not going in the other places. So it really gives you just a visual. Analytics would give you how much people pass, how long they spend, session time, bounce rate, when they left, that type of thing. And the heat maps would kind of give you a visual of your home page of how it looks or whatever page it is, what part of the page, the cursor, the person's mouse spent most of the time on, basically, right? I would have done.
Hold that thought, just to kind of highlight your point. This is like a very, very high level overview of a heat map. So I have this on my email provider, right? Where it can show me which part of the email campaign that got sent out, of all the applicable links, who clicked on what and how many times. So a heat map, imagine a heat map like this for your entire website, showing you all the different areas that cursors are spending their time and the things that they are clicking on. You'd be able to see exactly who is clicking on what. OC, go ahead, continue.
All right. Then I would have turned store into experience store, change the usual checkout, free delivery, use the platform as a loss leader, and then essentially capture data through different campaigns and use that data to build a strategy to grow market share, or even release new products or get product feedback and get actual surveys and actually deliver something tailored to the customer or to one segment of the target market, depending on how you segment your customers.
Agreed. From a marketing perspective, um, I would like to see more variety in the content that they are putting out. So, for an example, I would look at how many times I'd look at if I'm trying to play in different countries. I would like to look at which countries are searching for what of our products. I would then get information on search volumes. I can see what is the age groups of the people who are conducting the searches for our products, and then I can now base my campaigns on that. So if we take a look right here, right, I can see that the people in the US that are searching for Angostura rum, that body is predominantly 18 to 24-year-olds. That's 40% of the search. So the content and the campaigns that I create are going to be tailored to that group of people, 18 to 24-year-olds. The second group would be 35 to 44-year-olds. Your content and campaigns, depending on the age brackets, it should not be a one-size-fit-all. You should be dialing in and creating content specific to the people who are conducting the searches for your product, right? I would also then be measuring what are the search volumes for each of my products. So if I know that Angostura 1919 is the most popular product, then I'm going to take it a step further, and I want to see all the questions that people are asking about our products and turn that into content. So we could see, look at this. Number one question, where to buy Angostura, best Angostura. Is Angostura gluten-free? These are content. These are things that you could be, these are things, just for perspective, these are things that people are typing into Google, searching about Angostura, that they should be now answering on the website and then creating bite-sized content to be distributed on the social media channels and then drive back the traffic to their website so that, guess what? They could now see which content, and I'm just bringing back up my thing, so they could then see which platforms are generating the traffic and which content is being found and where. And then you could attribute, what piece of content is working, what platform is working. And again, this is what I would essentially do. My thing is, Ocey did a good job on the e-commerce side for the content marketing side. I don't think they produce content. I think they produce ads. So when you look at their social media platforms, everything is look at me, buy. And when you look at, we showcased Johnny Walker, everything was content and providing an experience. And I think that is a big gap that Angostura can play in because, again, they're one of the biggest brands in the Caribbean. We love their products. I think that they can now focus on creating an experience. I think they could focus on creating content, and they can get away from just blasting us with influencers. Ocey, before we wrap up, when is the last time you bought a rum because Ravi B told you, look, White Oak?
Never.
I've never bought a rum because an influencer had it. However, if you were teaching me about taste profiles, I want to go to the Johnny, and I'm not even a Johnny Walker drinker. I don't drink Johnny Walker. But I want to go into Johnny Walker and just go through the experience. And maybe I don't drink Johnny Walker because the people I've been around only drink it in one way, a Johnny and coconut water, right? And that might just not be my vibe. But maybe if I walked into the Johnny Walker store and they took my flavor profile and they matched me up with the right Johnny, with the right chaser, before you know it, I done spend half the money from my trip on Johnny rum, and now I want to drink Johnny.
Correct. And I want people to understand that one of the biggest problems the search engine part of Google has is that there are too much searches and not enough content to match those searches. So
Yes.
Google basically saying, all your please are begging. Just put out some content to answer the people questions now. All right.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, it's called Google Micro Moments. If you just go into Google and you search micro moments, it will tell you what micro moments are and ways to find or be relevant in the type of searches that people are looking for. And
Yes.
once you abide by Google's kind of parameters, people will find you. And once Google realizes your site is checks out on that Google Eat and Your Money, Your Life, that spectrum, it then comes back and it says, all right, cool, let me push traffic to this site because people are going there and they're getting some sort of value for the searches that they have, right?
Correct.
And Google will keep ranking you. And the more you put out content, right, that leads back to searches, at the end of the day, brands thrive on having an audience. You have to always grow that audience because if you plateau, then you'll start to lose market share to somebody else. So you always need to find a way to be relevant in front of your audience. Things change. People lock down. You know, much challenge pass through Trinidad and Tobago since the lockdown. People make doubles, then they try to do something else, then they try to do something else. Every 7 days is a different challenge coming up on TikTok or something, and people just go in with the win. But if
Correct.
you have the content out there to guide people and educate people, like I would love to see a Punch a Creme campaign because I love Punch a Creme.
Yeah.
But then, is it that somebody? So last year somebody dropped a pineapple flavor Punch a Creme, a
Right.
Guinness flavored Punch a Creme, because you know people getting real creative with the flavors now, right?
Yeah.
Like I saw that pineapple Punch a Creme, but like no, this year are they making the pineapple Punch a Creme with pineapple white oak? I don't know, but those are the things that I would like to see.
Yeah.
I I want to taste. That would pique
Yes.
my curiosity.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed.
Sorrel flavor. I see sorrel flavor punch a creme. Are they making it with sorrel flavor white too?
I know there's coconut punch creme because that's pretty much all I
but
order.
are you making it? Are you making it with the white oak coconut? I don't know.
Right,
I
right,
don't even
right.
know what people just make punch a creme with anymore. I think long time it was punching. I think now you don't know because once you buy a bottle of punch a creme, seal up and it look nice.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know what
That's it. That's it.
correct.
That's perfect. So, folks, I mean, you guys have tuned in for us for an hour and a half. Thank you for logging in and locking in with us as we went through it. Again, we are patrons of the Angostura brand. This is no knock to Angostura. We love the products. We just like to have fun with looking at businesses, having conversations with you guys about e-commerce, marketing, data, and try to showcase it to you guys in a very practical way with a localized context. So if you enjoyed the conversation tonight, let us know in the chat. Let us know if you enjoyed the conversation. Please drop some flames in the chat. Just drop some flames in the chat if you guys enjoyed the conversation. Let us know how you guys like it. The replay is going to automatically be available because we've streamed live to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So wherever you're watching it from, you can always rewind, go back. Anything that we spoke about, you can go and check out. Ocey, as we wrap up, where can the good people of the world, where can they find you?
Right now, ocphillips.com or Ocey Phillips on any social media channel. If you go to my website, it's probably where you'll get the most value from. Ebook drop
oh my
there,
God.
Canvas is up there, a couple things that I did up there. So yeah, that's basically where to find me essentially. I can't mix up the spelling. The only OC that probably spelled like that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as always, folks, you guys, if this is the first time you guys tuning in, KarenRose.com, Karen Rose on every single social media platform. You guys can reach out to us about e-commerce, building your websites, digital marketing, data. Feel free to reach out. Again, even if it's just if you guys see a brand that you guys want us to do another segment of what we would do if we ran that business, let us know, reach out to us, let us know. And in our next segment, we'll pull some what somebody said and we'll break it down. We'll go through it and we'll see what kind of opportunities we would do if we ran that business. All right.
Correct.
No problem.
Correct.
No problem. So, folks, thank you for tuning in. We are wrapping up. Any other conversation, you guys can reach out to us offline. All right, Ocey, my friend. Cheers. Folks, take care. Drop some flames. Let us know if you guys enjoyed the conversation, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take